श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम श्रीशैलाभिजनाम्बुराशिशनं श्रीकृष्णतातात्मजं श्रीशैलान्वय देवनाथसुधिय प्राप्तागमान्तद्वयं पादाब्जे नरसिंहताते गुरोर्न्यस्तात्मरक्षाभरं विद्वद्वृन्दचकोरचन्दिरमहं रामानुजार्यं श्रये श्रीरङ्गसुधामधुसमास्वादयन्तं श्रीरङ्गमहिषी पदपङ्कजात्मजं सुलभाश्रयं सदा मोदसिद्धमद्भुतं भजेऽहं गुरुं तं रङ्गनाथप्रियं सुखासनस्थं हृदयाब्जपीठे चिन्मुद्रयालङ्कृतपाणिपद्मं शुभोपवीतं विमलोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रं नमामि रङ्गं गुरुम् अन्तरङ्गे नमामि योगसम्राज्ञीं विजयां विजयप्रदां श्रीरङ्गार्धासनासीनां करुणां मम मातरं गुरुरूपपरं ज्योतिः ज्योतिरूपगुरुः परः अज्ञानमन्दिरं ह्येतत् गुरुविज्ञानमन्दिरं मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः सकृदेव प्रपन्नाय तवास्मीति च याचते अभयं सर्वभूतेभ्यः ददामि एतद्व्रतं मम मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षाद् रामायणात्मना सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तरितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus will commence our session today. Greetings on the occasion of Sri Shankara Jayanti and Sri Ramanuja Jayanti. Today, two great Avatara Purushas were born purely for the purpose of upliftment of the humanity. They are both known as Jagadacharyas. One came 1,000 years ahead of the other, and yet another person came probably 3,000 years ahead of this person. It's very cryptic, isn't it? So Acharya Ramanuja, he was born 1,000 years ago. Probably 1,000 years before him, Adi Shankara. Why I say probably is it could be 1,000, it could be 1,100, 1,300, etc. Adi Shankara was born, and 3,000 years before him was Lord Krishna's birth. This is the Guru Parampara, and whenever we salute our Gurus, we start with the Pratyaksha Guru, one who is seen by us, very close to us, who we can touch and feel, who we can resort to by speaking to him, listening to him, if possible, etc. Starting from that Guru onwards, we usually travel all the way up to these Avatara Purushas, Acharya Ramanuja, before him, Shankaracharya. And we should not stop there. We usually continue all the way up to Lord Narayana himself. And these are not my words. So if you look at Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada's very first shlokam, I'm just going to read that out. In the Gita Bhashyam, he says, Narayana Paro Vyaktaha Vyaktate Andam Avyakta Sambhavam Andasyantastvime lokaha saptadvipa cha medini. That is his very first shlokam in his own bhashyam of Bhagavad Gita. So when Acharya Shankara himself starts with Narayana, it is our duty to also go climb all the way up to Sriman Narayana. One of the important things is to pay due respect to Acharyas. And we see that today in the form of Utsavams, holy festivals that are celebrated in their birthplaces, respective birthplaces, as well as in many temples across India. So if you look at, for example, Sri Parambudur or Kaladi or various Shankara Matams, both these two acharyas are really celebrated as equivalent to the Lord himself. In fact, in Sri Parambudur, Ramanujacharya is taken out in procession in the same vahanas as they would for the Lord of the Kshetram, which is Adikeshava Perumal himself. So Ramanujacharya enjoys the various vahanas like Garuda Vahanam, Yana Vahanam. இதெல்லாம் ராமானுஜருக்கும் பண்ணுவா, பெருமாளுக்கும் பண்ணுவா. The meaning, hidden meaning is that the Guru is none other than the Lord himself. அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு பாவனையில் வந்துடுது இது. We may feel that these two are two different systems of philosophy. One is Advaita, the other is Vishishtadvaita. What the human mind is actually capable of is putting a can around anything that we see and give a name and stamp on it. What we do not realize is what is the hidden content in it, right? So if you want to make idli, there will be recipes given, and idli pananona, you have to soak urad dal and then grind it to a certain level of consistency and then let it ferment for a day overnight, and then take idli plates, right? Pour the batter and have idli. Is it enough if we argue, debate, and dispute on how to make idli? Or do we take that extra step to actually do the idli and eat it? We believe that over centuries, the debate has been purely verbal. The real message that is actually given by these two great acharyas, we believe, is when they actually were in a mood of silence and not when they were speaking. If you look at Adi Shankara, his mudra that you see popularly is known as Chin Mudra. And if you look at Bhagavad Ramanuja, either it be Tamuganda Tirumeni, Tamaruganda Tirumeni, or Tameyana Tirumeni, this is the mudra that he has. Anjali Parama Mudra Kshipram Deva Prasadini. We forget the most important message that they have handed out to us. It is perhaps not hidden in their books or works. It is hidden in the way they led their lives. Their life itself is the biggest message, which we perhaps have failed to understand, let alone follow it in whatever little manner we can. So with these words, I know there are many Jambavans here. We all know the history. We all know the great works of these two Avatara Purushas. Our only humble request is to take a leaf out of their real life. When they say, life and works of Swami Vivekananda, that's the title of a book. I remember I used to read that when I was young. We forget the life and we dedicate ourselves to the works. Maybe we should take a step back and look at how they actually led their lives. There are many, many lessons which are hidden there, and with their grace, hopefully, we will all be able to adopt a lifestyle that takes us close to Yonityam Achyuta Padambuja Igmarukma Vyamohata Staritarani Trinaya. We keep telling this day in and day out. The meaning of that is, I pay obeisance to that Ramanuja who actually considered anything other than the holy feet of Lord Narayana as a blade of grass, which is not worthy of anything. So that is how much Ramanuja gave weightage to the holy feet of the Divine Lord. Asmat Guroho Bhagavato Siddhaika Sindhoho Ramanuja Sharanau Sharanam Prapadye. I surrender to that holy feet of Lord Ramanuja. In a similar manner, Adi Shankara himself has mentioned how we should lead our lives. Balaha tavat क्रीडासक्तः तरुणः तावत् तरुणी सक्तः वृद्धः तावत् चिन्तासक्तः पारे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. What Adi Shankara has told is the youth, the balas, the young children, they are busy playing. Krida saktaha, tarunaha tavat taruni saktaha. The youth are engaged in pleasures. And the old people, vruddha tavat chinta saktaha. The old people, elderly people always have this worry or that worry. Pare brahmani opina saktaha. Nobody seems to be thinking of the Divine Lord. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So with these words, we'll get into our session today. We were in the 38th Sargam of Srimad Sundara Kandam, which is Vayasa Vrittanta Kathanam, where Sita Mata is narrating the story that was actually very private between her and Lord Ramachandra up to that point of time. But she makes it open to Lord Hanuman. And this is after Hanuman requests Sita Mata to share something or give something back to him, that is Hanuman, as to what he can carry back. And we went into some details of that exact event. Basically, Sita was tormented by Kakasura, who is the son of Indra. And she tried to be patient up to a point of time. And there was a period where Lord Rama himself was tired and he was asleep and he didn't realize what was happening. But eventually he gets to understand what's happening because of the drops of blood that fell on him. And then he takes on the Raudra Swarupam. He gets extremely angry and he notices this crow that is flying around. And what did he do? Vayase kritavan kururam matim matimatam varaha, sloka 30. Sadarbham samstarat grihya brahmen astrena yojayati. That's where we stopped in the last class. Vallavanuku pullum ayudamnu sonnam. What that means is, he took out a blade of grass from the mat that he was lying down on. So there is actually a temple called Darbhashayanam Ramar. Many of you may have visited it. Can you tell me which place, with which kshetram this temple is in?
Tirupullani Adiyan.
Tirupullani. So that's close to Rameshwaram, Ramanathapuram. And that's where we have this temple, Darbhashayanam Ramar. Lord Rama was sleeping on the darbha grass. And perhaps this event is what is close to that particular kshetram. And the moment he realizes that he has to take action on this Vayasam, he takes out a blade of grass. And what does he do? He makes it powerful with the invocation of Brahmastra. So basically, we are going to see later on, there is one more reference to Brahmastram in Sundara Kandam, which happens when Hanuman, isn't it? He is encountered by Indrajit. He uses Brahmastram. So Brahmastra is one of the most potent weapons, and it has its own way of empowerment. And it is not that this, so there is a mantram and an astram. It is not that the astram gets its power only from the arrow or the metal that it is made of, but anything can be converted into a weapon by an appropriate invocation of mantram. That is what Lord Rama does here. Brahmena astrena yojayate. He combined the grass with the sacred mantra of Brahmastram. So that is where we ended in the last class. So we'll continue from Sloka 31 onwards. Tatastam vayasam darbha sombarenujagamam anusuttastada kako jagama vividham gatim tranakama imam lokam sarvam vai vichacharaha sapitra cha parityaktaha surai sarvair maharshibhi. So the moment Lord Rama he took out the astram, the grass, blade of grass. So we may all be wondering certain aspects of physics here. One thing is, how can a blade of grass, which is so light, travel at the speed of light? Sa deeptaiva kalagnihi jwalabhimuko dvijam. So in other words, dvija is the bird here, which is crow. So the darbha grass went after the crow in an extremely Tejas Swarupam, Deepta Swarupam, just like Kalagnihi and Jwalabhimukaha. How is that possible? Abdingiradhe? One aspect is we really don't know the size, the height, the thickness of the grass in those days. Okay. So perhaps it was strong enough to actually go after the crow. Okay. So that is something we should bear in mind. And he threw the grass in the direction of the crow. What happened then was tatastam vayasandarbaha sombare anujagamat. So the grass accompanied or followed the crow wherever it flew. Right. So we have these so-called intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are capable of navigating. It doesn't go in one straight line. It goes after the target wherever the target goes. In a similar manner, the darbha basically traced the path of the crow. And where did the crow go? Anusuttas tada kakaha jagama vidhang. The crow itself was flying at various speeds from one place to the other. And it went all the way up to the Swargalokam. It went to various lokas. Okay. Tranakama imam lokam sarvam vai vichacharaha. Started to roam from one loka to the other, requesting the respective lords of those lokas to help him. Please protect me. This grass is after me. It doesn't know that it is Brahmastra. And in the process, sapitra cha parityaktaha suraihi sarvair maharshibhihi. So the crow was indeed rejected by its own father, which is Indra. I am not going to protect you because I know what is behind you. Right? It is nothing but Brahmastram. And I dare not get into the way and try to protect you. So also all the other gods, Suraihi and the Maharshis also, everybody showed their hath, saying, Bachao, hum nahi bacha sakte, hame khud ko bachana hai. We have to save ourselves, forget about saving you. That's what all of them told to the Kakasuran. Trin lokan samparikramya tameva sharanam gataha satam nipatitam bhumau शरण्यः शरणागतम् वधार्हमपि काकुत्स्थः कृपया पर्यपालयते परिद्यूनं विषण्णं च स तमायन्तमब्रवीत् मोघं कर्तुं न शक्यं तु ब्राह्ममस्त्रं तदुच्यतां हिनस्तु दक्षिणाक्षि त्वत् शर इत्यतसोऽब्रवीत्. So three lokan sam parikramya. So the crow went to all the three lokas, Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam and Suvarlokam. And there is nobody that is going to protect it. So, and what did the crow do? Tameva Sharanangataha. So it fell at the holy feet of Lord Rama. So one of the important things in the Sharanagati principle is to know that you cannot protect yourself. You are at the mercy of the Divine Lord. When that realization comes, surrender becomes automatic. It need not be forced by somebody on us. So that tenet is displayed by Kakasura at this point of time. Satam nipatitam bhumau sharanyaha sharanagatam. Here sharanyaha is Lord Ramachandra and sharanagata is Kakasura. So the crow fell at the feet of Lord Rama. And our Lord, although he is Satya Parakrama, he used Brahmastra, etc. The moment somebody falls at his feet, that is what he is waiting for. Okay, we all refuse to do that. The moment somebody falls at his feet, his Karunya Swarupam comes forth. He becomes the mother. Right? Sakrideva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Yachate. The moment somebody says, I am yours, the Lord will become ours. So what did the Lord say? Vadharahampi kakustaha kripaya paryapalayate. In spite of knowing the fact that this Kakasura is worthy of getting killed, isn't it? Vadharaha, because he has done a great sin. But the Lord took care of that crow. Paridyonam Vishannam cha sa tam ayantam abravit. So he realized that this Kakasura now is in a sad state of mind, and he is also in a state where he is repenting what he has done. But unfortunately, the weapon that the Lord has released is known as Brahmastra. Mogham kartum na shakyantu brahmamastram taducchatam. I have already left this Brahmastra and it cannot go waste. It has to do its purpose. So therefore, whoever has the access to the nuclear weapon, nuclear button, they have to be very, very careful, isn't it? You should not press that button. The moment you press it, all the consequences will come forth. So here the Lord is saying, I am also merciless because the Astram has left me. Tell me what I should do. It has to do some effect on you. Hinastu dakshinakshi tvati chara ityata so bravita. So the Lord is giving an option to the crow. Tell me what I should do. This weapon is right on your head. And that is when the crow asks him that, okay, please don't kill me. Take off my right eye. That is what he's saying. I will offer that to you. And therefore, all my prayashchittam will happen. All my papas will go away. That is what the Kakasura pleads with Lord Ramachandra. So it will be interesting to note, of all the organs in his body, the crow is giving away his right eye, which means we should understand here, the crow has done a great sin and he was in the Kama and Krodha phase. Then the Brahmastram is following him. The Brahmastra, apart from being a weapon, is something which actually makes us a Viveki. A Brahmastram will bring in the aspect of right intellect, which is powered by Sattvam. Okay, so then what happens? You will at least seek the mercy of the right people. See, the Kakasura is not going towards Asuras or Rakshasas and asking them to protect him. He is going to Devalokam, he is going to Indra, Maharshis. So that's the power of the Brahmastra. Okay. So in other words, Brahma is also known as Vedas. So if we follow the Vedas, right? Either by chanting or listening, it provides us the right intellect to approach things in the right manner. And finally, that intellect drives the Kakasura to fall at the feet of the Lord. So the Vivekam has already done its work, that you have to surrender to the Lord. So with all this that has happened, and the crow has realized that, okay, at least from now, I will reform myself and get into the right path. And in our body, there is a left side and the right side. The left side is for Chandra and the right side is for Surya. And his intellect is something which went wrong. That is why he took all the wrong actions. His mind got spoiled. Buddhinashat pranashyati, as the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, ultimately. In the chain of things that destroy us, the moment we lose our intellect, that is when our nasham starts. So I offer all that bad mati or bad buddhi to you. Please take that away. That is a symbolic meaning. And there's a physical thing also. The Lord finally what he does, tatasya shakshikakasya inastisma sadakshinam datvasa dakshinam netram pranebhya parirakshitaha. The Lord indeed takes away, he gouges out the right eye of the crow. And it would have been such a gory scene, but he indeed is worthy of whatever he did to Sita Mata, isn't it? And pranebhya parirakshita. His life was saved. Only his eyes were gouged out. His right eye, which is symbolic of bad buddhi, is gone. And therefore, hopefully, the crow leads a proper life from then on. Saramaya namaskritva rajne dasarathaye cha visishtastena virena pratipede samalayam matkrite kakamatre tu brahmastram samudiritam kasmadyo mam hare tvattaha Kshamasetam mahipate. So immediately the crow, he prayed to Lord Ramachandra. He did a namaskaram. Rajne Dasharatha. He also paid obeisance to Lord Dasharatha. Because Dasharatha is friend to his own father, who is Indra. Visrishtena virena pratipede somalayam. Vishishtaha tena virena. So he got a new life due to Lord Rama. And he got a different lease of life, so to say. And he went back to his abode. The Kakasura went back to his abode. So this is the story that is narrated by Sita Mata. Right? A lot of artham that is there in this slokam, in this set of slokas that she speaks with Hanuman. The story has a lot of meaning. At the end of it, Hanuman comes back to the present moment. And Sita Mata continues that remind this Lord Ramachandra that he took out a blade of grass, matkrite, just for myself, in order to kill the Kakasura. Right? And he used Brahmastra to a great potency. But how come he is now silent? That is the question she is asking. Kasmat yaha mam hare tvattaha Kshamasetam mahipate. How on earth he is so patient with this Ravana, who has done me even more harm than Kakasura? That is the question Sita Mata is asking Hanuman. Sakurushva mahotsaha kripa mai nararshabha tvaya nathavathi natha yanatha iva drishyate anushamsyam paro dharmaha tvatta eva maya shrutah janami tvam mahaviryam mahotsaham mahabalam. These are all direct dialogues that have to be transmitted to Lord Rama in an as-is manner. This, remember, in the last class we were telling, Sita Mata is making Hanuman by heart these slokams, right, in first person. So he has to go and say, this is what Sita Mata has told you. So that Hanuman can also escape, isn't it? These are not my words, these are your own wife's words. I am just conveying them to you. என் தப்பில்லப்பா ஆத்துல உங்க ஆத்துக்காரி தான் இதை சொல்லி விட்டா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிடுவாருங்க. என்ன சொல்றாங்க? Sakurusha Mahotsaha Kripam Mai Narashabha. O Naravyakha, Nararishabha, the bull among men. I am known as Nathavati only along with you, with your power. I will be protected. But I am indeed looking like an anatha, somebody who has nobody to protect her at this point of time. I have been left in the lurch by you who have protected me from a crow using a Brahmastra. How come you are silent now? And she is going on to say, Anushamsim paro dharmaha. I have heard from you, right? Tatteva maya shrutaha. That compassion is the highest Atma Guna or highest Dharma that one can pursue. How come you are missing in that compassion? That is the question she is asking. And I know you as a Mahavirya, Mahotsaha, Mahabala, all these come in Sahasranama, isn't it? Bhishma has read Srimad Ramayana, isn't it? That's what it means. अपारपारमक्षोभ्यं गाम्भीर्यात् सागरोपमं भर्तारं स समुद्राय धरण्या वासवोपमम् एवमस्त्रविदां श्रेष्ठः सत्यवान् बलवान् अपि किमर्थमस्त्रं रक्षस्सु न योजयसि राघव अपारपारम् अक्षोभ्यं गाम्भीर्यात् सागरोपमं. You are somebody who are equivalent to Samudram or the ocean in Gambhiryam. Okay, in the way you conduct yourself, you are like an ocean, just like it absorbs various rivers into itself, yet remains calm. And Samudra is aparam, it has no limits. You are in some sense somebody who is full of such compassion. And you are indeed like Vasavopam, like Indra, in the way you overrule all the worlds here. And you are also somebody who is Astravidam Sreshtaha. You possess the knowledge of using any kind of weapon. That is your prowess. But how come you, who are capable of showing motiveless compassion to many people, are not showing that compassion to me and using your weapons? Kimartham astram rakshassu means among the Rakshasas, you are not yet in a state where you can use your weapons, O Raghava. Marugelara, O Raghava, like Tyagaraja says, why are you hidden and why are you not showing that compassion to me? Nanaga napi gandharva nasura namarudganaha ramasya samare vegam shakta pratisamihitum tasya viryavatah kaschite yadyadasti mai sambhramaha kimartham na sharaistikshnaihi kshayam nayati rakshasane. Nobody can face the fearful power of your weapons, including Nagas, Gandharvas, Asuras, Marudganas. And that is something that I know exactly. Tasya viryavataha kaschit yadasti mai sambhramaha. So the state that I am in right now is kind of sambhrama or anxious. I am quite anxious right now. Why are you not using your weapons? Kimartham na sharais tikshnaihi kshayannayati rakshasan. So she is using different modes of invoking Rama. The first one is, if you are compassionate, you will show that compassion to me and start using your weapons against Rakshasas, number one. Number two, you are a Mahavirya, Mahotsaha, Mahabala. You know how to use all the weapons. Forget about compassion. The very fact that you are an Astra Bhutam Varaha, that itself is good enough qualification. Why don't you use this against these Rakshasas? Bhraturadeशमादाय Lakshmano va parantapaha kasya hetorna mam viraha paritrati mahabalaha yeditau purushavyaghrau vayuagni samatejasau suranamapi durdharshau kimartham mamupekshataha. Or is it you are not acting? I believe that young baby there is a cute baby that we are seeing. Hopefully it will resonate with what we are saying. We should have the child's mind and mentality. That is also something that great acharyas teach us. It is very difficult for us to conduct this life. Life is so complex. We don't know what will happen the next moment. The easiest way is to be as carefree as the child and get that Sadyojata Sishu, as they call it, that mind and mentality of having pure love. The child expects love from everybody and gives back love. It does not show any weapons to us. May we all get that kind of unbounded love to everybody on this day. So Sita Mata is asking, is Rama quiet because, sir, you can have your child there. I didn't mean that you should carry her away. Is it because Rama is not acting just because Lakshmana has given him an adesham that you are not supposed to act? Is that what is causing Rama to keep quiet? And I know that Kasya hetorna mam viraha paritrati mahavala. I am quite intrigued as to why Rama is not acting. This is one other occasion where Sita Mata is perhaps pointing a finger at Lakshmana. Okay, so when Ravana is about to abduct her, she uses all kinds of Parusha Vachanam, as they call, against Lakshmana. She scolds Lakshmana. Perhaps this is one other case where she's saying, maybe Lakshmana became angry with me due to my behavior back then. And he has told, வீட்டில் நடக்கிறது தானே, என் brother-in-law, sister-in-law, பாரு என்ன பண்ண. So all the wars happen, most of the wars that we see happen within the family because of paraspara vaimanasya. The moment we do not show the right mind mentality to others, differences of opinion start creeping in that causes emotions. Perhaps Lakshmana is in that same state of mind and he has instructed Rama, no, don't go. You don't know about Sita. She has scolded me. I have become extremely annoyed because of that. So don't go there. Perhaps Sita is thinking of all those here. Bhratur adeshamadaya Lakshmanova parantava kasya hetor. And I know then she immediately turns back to the fact that both of them are Purusha Vyagra. No, that probably would not have been the case because both of them are like tiger among men and their tejas is like Vayu and Agni. A very interesting analogy that she gives. If one is Agni, the other is Vayu. So we should know that Agni cannot exist without Vayu, isn't it? If you have to stoke fire, we use Vayu. And mere Vayu is not enough. There should be Agni so that you get energy. And both go hand in hand. And Suranamapi Durdharsho, not any of the gods, they cannot actually fight with them. But why are these two, Rama and Lakshmana, seem to show some kind of upeksha to me? They are ignoring me. Mama eva dushkritam kinchite mahadasti na samshayaha samarthavapi tau yanmam na avekshate parantapo. Finally, she shows fingers everywhere and she points it to herself. So she says, it is perhaps because of some papam that I have done in the past that these two great potent people who are full of compassion, viryam, etc., samarthav, they are ignoring me. So this comes back to the various ways in which she is thinking, Sita Mata. Vedehya vachanam shutva karunam sashrubhashitam atha bravin mahateja hanuman marutatmajaha त्वच्छोक विमुखो रामो देवी सत्येन मे शपे रामे दुःखाभिपन्ने च लक्ष्मणः परितप्यते. So Sita ends her monologue there, Vaidehya Vachanam Shutva, and she was actually weeping when she was speaking these words, that why are they ignoring me in spite of all these great things that they have. Then Hanuman takes over. What does he say? Atha bravit mahatejaha. He promises then and there. I am doing a promise here that you are going to very soon get rid of all your sorrow. At the same time, remember that I am promising you that Rama has an equal amount of shokam because you are not there with him. Don't think that he is happy or he is ignoring you. That is actually not the case. And see the greatness of Hanuman. He doesn't end with Rama. He says, Rame dukkhabhipannecha Lakshmana paritapyate. Even your brother-in-law Lakshmana, he is also in a great state of sorrow. So both of them don't think that they are rejoicing. They are actually looking forward to meeting you. Katham chit bhavati drishta na kala parishochitam imam muhurtam dukkhanam drakshasyantamanindite taubhau purushavyaghrau rajaputrau mahabalau taddarshana kritotsahau lankam bhasmi karishyatah. So once again Hanuman induces that great sense of hope and motivation. Katanchit bhavati drishta nakala parishojitam. You are going to somehow see Lord Rama very soon, and this particular phase of sorrow will end. And imam muhurtam dukkhanam drakshasi antam anindite. All of this will end very soon. Dukkha will end. And how? Taubhau purusha vyaghro rajaputra maha. They are going to come here and having got this kind of motivation to see you. For darshana kritotsaho. They are very eager to see you soon. And with that motivation or goal in mind, they are going to burn Lanka down into ashes. Lankam bhasmi karishataha. Atva cha samare kruram ravanam saha bandhavam raghavastvam vishalakshi neshyati swam purim prati bruhyadraghavo vacho lakshmanascha mahabalaha sugrivo vapi tejasvi harayopi samagataha. Therefore, it is a given statement that Rama is going to kill Ravana in a great war along with all his relatives, that is Ravana's relatives. And Rama is going to take you back to his Swayampuri, which is Ayodhya, Swampurim Prati. And forget about all your shokam. Now tell me, what more do you want me to convey to Rama and Lakshmana, as well as Sugriva and all the Vanaras that are assembled there? Iktiktavati tasminscha Sita surasatopama uvacha shoka santapta hanumantam plavangam kausalya lokabartaram sushiveyam manasvini tam mamarte sukham prucha shirasa cha bhivadaya. So Itiktavati Tasmimsa Sita Surasutova. In this manner, Sita starts to speak. What does she say? Kausalya Lokabartaram Sushuve Yam Manaswini. She speaks that Lord Rama, I bow down to Lord Rama, who was taken care of by his mother Kausalya, right? And tam mamarthe sukham pracha. So convey my kushalam to him and ask him how he is in a manner that I would have done personally, which is shirasacha abhivadaya. I would bow down to him and ask him, Saukyama, in good olden days, that was the way we would ask them, ask anybody as to how are you. Today we write the 3 letters H or U and send it in WhatsApp, isn't it? From the other side, we get an emoticon. That's it. We don't know whether that is the intention or the actuality. That's a different issue. So the way we should ask somebody else as to சௌக்கியமா அப்படின்னு அதுக்கு பெரிய பாட்டே இருக்கு சௌக்கியமா அப்படின்ட்டு. The way we should ask others as to how you are is with a vinamra swabhavam, that by doing abhivadanam. Srajascha sarvaratnani priyayascha varanganaha aishwaryancha vishalayam prithivyamapi durlabham pitaram mataram chaiva sammanyabhiprasadya cha anupravrajito ramam sumitrayena suprajaha. Apart from Rama, she is also asking kushalam to Lakshmana. And these are the adjectives she gives to Lakshmana, that he has left behind all the great jewels, wealth, his own dear wife, Urmila, and all the ladies, all the Aishwaryam he has left behind. Who? Lakshmana. which is very, very difficult to obtain. And he has followed me and Rama. He has left his own parents, Pitaram Mataram Cheva, Sammanya Abhiprasadyacha. And that is the nature of Saumitri, isn't it, Lakshmana? And because of giving birth to Lakshmana, Sumitra has got the title as Supraja. That is one who has given birth to great children. That is a title that Lakshmana has bestowed on his mother. And can you also convey my Kushalam to Lakshmana? That is what Sita Mata is mentioning. Okay, sloka number 58. So with these words, we'll conclude our session here today. Unless there's 1 minute for anybody for any comment, question, clarification. I'll give back your...
Adian, I have a question.
Yes, go on.
If Kakasura was the son of Devendra, how come he became an Asura when his father himself is, chief of Devas?
Very good question. So this is why an Acharya is required. If we go back to what either Adi Shankara or Ramanuja have spoken, is that we are all supposed to be performing dharma. And dharma is nothing but which creates yataha abhyudaya nishreyasa siddhihi sadharmaha, that which creates goodness in the here and hereafter. And in the process of following dharma, when we lose our sight to the end goal, which is parabhakti, parajnanam, when we lose our sight to that end goal, immediately kama, krodha and others, they are waiting to occupy that slot. And they try to color whatever we think, whatever we do. Therefore, one may have an excellent set of parents, but they may get degraded because of this samskara of kama and krodha. And this is something which is mentioned in the Puranas. So you can look at the story of Prahlada. He was born as a Sattvika Purusha to, this is the other end of the story. His parent, his father especially, was an Asura. So it is not that the son of an Asura should not be a Sattvik Purusha, or vice versa. If you have a Sattvik person, even the great rishis, isn't it? Sapta rishis. So there is a Kashyapa Rishi who had Diti and Aditi as his wives. And those who are born to Diti are called as Daityas. And it is primarily because of the way they were born. So when Dharma Shastras tell us how to lead life, and if you get into the act of creating progeny at the wrong moments in your life, without paying heed to the Muhurta dinas, what may happen is this Asuri Sampat, the Rakshasas in the form of Kama and Krodha, they get inside the womb and such a child will be born. So it is possible that at the time of birth itself, the parents, although they are Sattvic, they will get an extremely tamasic child. That is one aspect. The other is, it might have been a Sattvic child, but for a period of time, due to bad company, that's why, the satsangam is very important. Due to bad company, Rajas and Tamas will overrule us like Kakasura. So finally, he becomes a good person. So he goes back to his abode. So this is probably the case where once you understand the state you are in and you do the proper way of life to Sharanagati, etc., you go back to your natural state. So therefore, the long story short, there is no golden rule that the parents' genes should pass on in an as-is manner to the children. But at the same time, there is a hidden Tattvic principle. If we understand properly, we can exit the state of Rajas and Tamas we are in. So that is something we should keep in mind.
धन्योऽस्मि।
आभुजान्तश्रीचक्रकुण्डलधरं कुटिलकुन्तलं शिशुम् मन्दस्मितरुचिकराधरपुटं पूर्णिमैक्ष्यान्वितं मुखम् शरस्योर्ध्वगतिं मुद्रया विदिशन् सव्येन प्रणवं धनुम् मध्ये सुस्थितमुग्धश्यामलमहं श्रीरामं भजे मोहनम् गुरुचरणाम्बुजा निर्भरभक्तः गुरुचरणाम्बुजा निर्भरभक्तः संसारार्तिचिरोद्धव मुक्तः गुरुचरणाम्बुजा कृष्णा कृष्णा सेन्द्रियमानसा नियमादेवं रक्षसि निज हृदयस्थं देवं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते
कायेन वाचा मनसा इन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। सर्वं श्रीरामचन्द्रार्पणमस्तु। Have a great day and a week ahead. धन्यवाद।
नमस्कारः।
Thank you.
धन्योऽस्मि।
Namaskar.